Gentlemen and ladies, welcome to another episode of the Fruitfully Honest podcast with your host, Robert Jones, and my co-host,
Jack Kurosella.
and we are here to rock your world
Always.
because I'm Rob Bass.
I still don't know what that means. You said that in an earlier episode.
Well, you know what? It's a song. It's called It Takes Two. It's by Rob Bass and Easy Rock. It's a great song. Ask Don Wettrick. He knows the song. It's a very good song.
I'm sure he does.
So here's what we're talking about today, guys.
Today is another rant episode.
We are talking about International Women's Day.
So if you don't remember from the last time we talked about rants, it's just an unscripted, uncensored rant. Literally, it's a rant. If you've ever, if you're 12 years old and you've never ranted, whatever, it doesn't matter.
So I'm going to just jump right into this topic, which I hate, and that's International Women's Day. So here's my thing. I have no problem with equal rights for everybody,
Neither do I.
but if you're going to give women International Women's Day, then we need to give men International Men's Day.
See, that's a weird thing that I've always sort of heard about. You know, they have like Black History Month, and then I hear these
Which
racist.
is also stupid.
And I have these racist white people who say, "Oh, we need a White History Month." What do you think about that?
Look, I don't. Sorry, I do not like months, days, holidays that are cut out to basically uplift a certain group of people. I think it is the stupidest thing that we ever do in this country, and it's a problem. It's why this country is so freaking PG. It gets on my nerves very much. So back to International Women's Day.
Go ahead and actually explain them what it's supposed to even be.
Well, it's a trend on Twitter. It's a trend on all these social media networks where basically everyone just they talk about the women inventors and the women who have done a lot of stuff for people, which is not a lot of stuff, but it still gets a lot of recognition. And I mean, we don't have an International Men's Day. I mean, I'm pretty sure men are more responsible for, more stuff.
Well, the only thing, I mean, that could just be because for such a long time, women had no role in society at all.
Yes, I mean, and that is partially true.
But
it's kind of getting out of hand with these feminists. Like, I mean, I know that most feminists are fat. They're ugly. They look like men. I mean, it's fact. It's fact that feminists have more testosterone than the average woman.
Is that a fact?
It is a fact. You can look it up. I heard Paul Joseph Watson. Is that his name?
I don't know who you're talking
The
about.
guy from InfoWars. He was talking about it, and he basically said that if you want to spot a feminist is someone who's fat, ugly, hairy, and looks like a man. And I agree.
So I'm a feminist.
You're not a woman though, Jack.
Oh, okay.
So
My bad.
you're not quite there. And I'm not bashing women in any kind of way, or maybe I am, but
That's neither here nor there.
I just believe that if we're going to celebrate one group of people, we need to celebrate other groups of people.
See, yeah, I think it's okay to praise, things women have done, because that's a good thing, because
Yes, it is.
they did sort of endure some struggles. But I think when, I consider myself a feminist, but I think people take that word and have connotations to different things. A feminist is just a person who is an activist for equal rights, and that's exactly what I am. But then you have these Tumblr feminists or feminazis, not neo-Nazis. That's a completely different topic. That focus on one gender and just like to talk about how bad men are. That's when the conversation takes the turn, and that's when I can't support the things anymore. People saying that if you look at me on the street and say hi and smile, then you just raped me. And I know that sounds so weird to some people. People, out there listening to this may have never even heard about that. But there are people who claim that. There are people who consider rape to be unwanted contact at all.
Yeah.
That's assault. If you look at them smile and say hi or shake their hand or whatever,
look,
that's rape.
Look,
That's not right.
I'm for equal rights, but when we have a system where you can get married and be married for 50 days, and this woman, you don't have a prenup, and say you're worth $10 million, she can sue you for $5 million. She can take half of your money she can get alimony for the rest of her life. She can collect child support, and you've only been together for the short amount of time that it is. I don't think it's fair. I think that if you earn the money, you keep the money. If you do not earn the money, then you should not be entitled to anything.
I can agree with that. I think the court system's kind of broken in that, right?
It is broken.
But there are some people who sort of use International Women's Day as, I don't know, maybe a way to put themselves on a pedestal. People like Caitlyn Jenner, I would say.
Well, here's my thing about Caitlyn Jenner. Caitlyn Jenner has won Women of the Year awards. So, I think this says something. I think it says something that it is crazy that a man dressed as a woman can win an award such as or Women of the Year. I think that's crazy. I think that people think of him more as a woman than Michelle Obama, which I think is a man, and any other one of these people. I just think it's interesting. People consider her a better woman than Oprah Winfrey, than Madonna.
Well, you know how I
Beyonce.
feel about Caitlyn Jenner is that, they called her a hero for, conquering her mental disorder that's obviously a thing.
It is a mental disorder, people.
Right.
She's not regular.
Well, and I don't mean that in some sort of negative connotation, because I've been labeled so many different mental disorders I can't even keep track of all the goddamn ones. But I think it's a good representation of her to be able to beat that mental disorder. I think there's because you live as a man, but you feel like a woman, and you live like that for 50 plus years. That takes a toll on someone, and to finally be able to break out, especially as a celebrity, a public figure. That's pretty big. But then you have people who I'm sort of torn on this, because I do think it's a good representation of beating a mental disorder, but at the same time, I just I don't know why people are calling her the bravest person of all time. I do think it's especially brave to do something like that, but to call her the most brave person ever, I don't know if I can agree with that.
Yeah, it's very crazy. Another point I wanted to bring up, and it's kind of about just feminism in general and equal rights. I really don't think there is a war on women. And what I mean by that is, they say that there's a wage gap for every 70 or every dollar that a man gets, a woman gets 77 cents. Here's the reason why the woman gets 77%. Or 77 cents. It's because she goes to a liberal arts college, she gets a degree in early childhood development, or a PhD in physical therapy, or an English degree, just some bullshit degree. And she tries to say, well, I should still be paying as much as a man. And if your degree is not as useful as an economics degree, or an engineering degree, or a law degree or a medical degree, then you should not be paid, and you should not be complaining about for every dollar that a man makes, a woman gets 77 cents.
Well, that brings up
it's your choice.
That brings up another topic that I definitely do want to rant about in the future is education and college degrees, and how they kind of don't mean anything anymore.
Yes.
I could go on for hours about that.
And my thing with that is, if everybody has a high school diploma, then a high school diploma becomes obsolete. If everyone gets a college degree, like Bernie Sanders is proposing to make college free for everybody, then a college degree becomes obsolete. So then what's higher than that? There's nothing higher than that.
Master's degree. I don't know. I was just saying that. What's higher than that?
I don't know. But I just think that International Women's Day, feminism, I think it's all stupid. I'm a men's rights activist. I'm for equal rights. If we were truly equal, then women would open doors for men. Men would open doors for women. If we were truly equal, then we couldn't say, well, you couldn't hit a lady. Because if we're equal, then
you hit whoever
hits you. So if we're equal, then she puts her jacket over the rain puddle also and steps over it. If we're all equal, then she pulls the chair out for me.
Yeah, my problem
If we're all
with
equal.
that is they pick and choose what ways
But
they
no,
want to be
people
equal.
people like to say, well, that's chivalry, and chivalry is a good thing. Well, where's the chivalry for men?
My only problem with that is that some people sort of pick and choose what ways they want to be equal. They want to be equal in pay, and they want to be equal in government. They want to be recognized or whatever, which is fine. I agree with that. But if you take two men or two women, and one woman slaps the other woman, or one man punches the other man, definitely something's going down. And both of them either get in trouble, or both of them are told, "You're an idiot. Don't do that anymore." So,
And
like, I know people are going to say, well, it's a lady. Well, I'm like, yeah, but if you want them to be equal, you can't think of it that way. You think that's a
She's a
person and that
human.
is a person.
okay,
It's a
let me
human.
bring up another point. Okay, a teacher in her school has a sexual relationship with two students. He goes to jail for 15 years. I look on the news 2 weeks later, and I see this young lady, teacher, she's about the same age, about 31, 32. She has sex with 4 male students. She gets 6 weeks. How is that equal rights? She was with more students at younger ages, and she gets or less time in jail. I don't understand it. But if you're a guy who does that, you go to jail for 15 years. You are labeled as a pedophile and a pervert and everything. But when a woman does it, people give the guys high five and say, "Oh, well, good for you. You hit that. Oh, congratulations." Makes no sense to me. So, Jack, you got anything else before we wrap it up?
I'll just leave with some words of wisdom, I guess. I'm okay with that.
Give them those words.
Um,
of wisdom.
Just treat everyone like we're the same. Stop.
Exactly.
There's no need for separation. There's no need for a Black History Month. Just treat everyone like they're your family, and we would have no wars. We would have no gender gaps. We would have no race gaps, and we wouldn't have any racial tension, gender tension, anything like that. There would be nothing like that if you just treated everyone like the golden rule. Treat everyone how you would like to be treated. We would have no issues.
So, gentlemen and ladies, because here we put gentlemen first. Just kidding.
People.
We wish you love,
all
peace, and soul.
Bye-bye.